Now look at these equations. These four are the Maxwell's equations, and these three are the equations what we know already. So here we are going to see two wave equations. Already we have discussed in the previous class what are the wave equations. Now here wave equations we can represent in free space. Wave equations we can represent in a medium. So these two equations are waveguides in wave equations in a medium, that is del square E equal to mu epsilon dou square E by dou t square and del square H equal to mu epsilon dou square H by dou t square. These are the wave equations. Now so before going to this one, we have to, after completing these wave equations in this unit, we have to go through the what is meant by uniform plane wave. So before going to see what is meant by uniform plane wave, we will see what is meant by a wave. So wave is defined as a physical phenomena that occurs at one place at a given time, is reproduced at other places at later times. The time delay is proportional to the space separation. So this is nothing but a wave. Now we will come to what is meant by a uniform plane wave. Say for example, a wave is nothing but in our case a electromagnetic wave, which is nothing but a combination of electric field and a magnetic field. So for example, we will take the wave is propagating along x direction. Take Cartesian coordinate system x, y, z. So we will consider the wave is propagating along x direction. So if the wave is propagating along x direction, the E and H, the electric field and magnetic field are independent of y and z. So with this condition, we will write the wave equation. So what is the wave equation? Otherwise we will take del square E equal to dou square E by dou x square, because del square E, what we will get? Del square E equal to dou square E by dou x, Ex by dou x square plus dou square Ey by dou y square, everything we will get. So because it is independent of y and z, we will take del square E equal to dou square E by dou x square. Now what we will write? Dou square E by dou x square equal to mu epsilon dou square E by dou t square. So leave it here, we will assume, we will go to the next case. So in general, a uniform plane wave propagation in x direction means E is what we have taken. If the wave is propagating along x direction, E or H is independent of y and z, and the other one is Ey or Ez may present, but Ex component equal to 0. Ex component is equal to 0. Now with this assumption, how we can write the wave equation? Dou square Ey by dou x square equal to mu epsilon dou square Ey by dou t, as Ex equal to 0. So these are the two things what we have come across with the uniform plane wave. One is when the wave is propagating along x direction, E or H is independent of y and z, and the second one is when the wave is propagating along x direction, Ex component or Hx component is equal to 0. Then we can represent the wave equation as dou square Ey by dou x square equal to mu epsilon dou square Ey by dou t square. Now let us see here. I took two functions. One is f1 of x minus v naught of t, and the other one is f2 of x plus v naught of t. Now so if we take the f1 equation, if we take f1 function, f1 is x minus v naught of t1 and f2 is x plus v naught of t. So look at this one, these two functions. What is the difference between these two functions is f1 function is the wave that is propagating along positive x direction, and f2 is a function that is propagating along negative x direction. Now so look at this one here. Only now we are bothering about this f1 function, that is f1 x minus v naught of t, where v naught is the velocity of light. Now so if we take this f1 function, I am showing at two positions in the diagram. One is at the time interval t1 and the other one at time interval t2. So in the first diagram, the wave occurred at time equal to t1. In the second, it is moved some distance which is equal to t2. So these two are the diagrams for the wave that is propagating along positive x direction. So we are bothered with the wave that is propagating along positive x direction. Remember, f1 is positive x direction and f2 is negative x direction. Now so if E we are taking, E is taken as first function, f1 of x minus v naught of t, x minus v naught of t. Now if we are taking for x1 v naught of t, Okay, look at this one. So this is the function what we are taken, x e equal to f1 of x1 v naught of t. So this equation in the particular case y is independent of y and z. So and it is only a function of x and t. So if we look at the equation of f1, so what is that f1 equation consist of? It is dependent on two variables, that is x in the direction the wave is propagating and t, time t. So such wave is called as uniform plane wave. Remember, this is very important. So where E is independent of y and z and it is function of only x and t, then that particular wave is called as uniform plane wave. So with this wave equation, this is the wave equation. We know wave equation simply we can represent as dou square Ex by dou x square by equating the components, Ex components, Ey components on both sides. If we expand this one on both sides. So remember, in the denominator for each and every equation we are having x only, dou x square, dou x square, dou x square. Now, so we will see after this what we have to make this equation. Dou square Ex by dou x square, that is one equation with respect to the above equation can be written in this form. Next, now if we consider a charge free region, in the charge free region, if we know that del dot d equal to 0, with that del dot d is also equal to 0. So by expanding del dot d, what we get? Dou Ex by dou x plus dou Ey by dou y plus dou Ez by dou z. So this is the simple, by expanding del dot d we will get this equation, already we know. Now for an uniform plane wave, what is the condition we took? E is independent of y and z. So obviously this will be equal to 0 and this will be equal to 0. So finally the equation we left with is dou Ex by dou x equal to 0. Now as this is the first order equation, if we go for the second order equation, where is it? That is in the previous paper. So what it is there, second order equation is this one. So these can also be equal to 0. Now so Ex is also equal to 0. So therefore a uniform plane wave progressing in x direction has no x component. So it is similar to E and H. Now so finally a uniform plane wave can be considered of three things. A uniform plane wave, it is a combination of electric field and magnetic field. So for a uniform plane wave, what is that? In the direction of propagation, the electric field and magnetic field component will not be there. Only electric field and magnetic field component is perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Otherwise, simply I will tell only three things with the uniform plane wave. So what is that? For a uniform plane wave, in the direction of propagation, E and H component will be equal to 0. And the second thing is, for a uniform plane wave, it is independent of y and z if the wave is propagating along x direction. And third one is, only E and H components will be perpendicular to the direction of propagation. For example, say we will take the wave is propagating along x direction. The first assumption is Ex component or Hx component is equal to 0 and E and H are independent of y and z component, that is second one, and in the direction of the wave propagation there will be no electric field and there will be no magnetic field. So take care of this one. So what is meant by a uniform plane wave? So up to this I will upload this one also in your PDF. Now already these things are there in your, I have uploaded PDF. Now you come to here. So I explain what is meant by uniform plane wave. So uniform plane wave consists of three conditions. Now look at here, in the previous offline class we have completed these two. So what is this wave equations. So after that, so uniform plane wave, we will take two conditions. What is that? Here the wave is in free space, consider the electric field and magnetic field are present, and the wave is propagating along z direction. Now look at this one. So already from 5 and 6 equations we know del square equal to mu naught epsilon dou square E by dou t square and del square H equal to mu naught epsilon dou square H. So what are these? These are the two wave equations of free space. So from this already we know what is mu naught and what is epsilon naught. By calculating mu naught and epsilon naught, finally the value is 1 by c square. Otherwise we can also tell velocity of light c equal to 1 by root of mu naught and then epsilon naught. Now, so simply in the place of mu naught and epsilon naught, we kept this 1 by c square and the equations are made as 9 and 10. Now, so what is del square E? Del square E, we know how the expansion of del square E. So simply, now what is considered, wave is traveling along z direction here. So z direction means, so independent of x and y. So dou square E by dou x square and dou square E by dou y square will be equal to 0. So only dou square E by dou z square will be there, is equal to 1 by c square dou square E by dou t square. This is from equation 9. Now, so dou square E by dou t square equal to, so it is taken, this side it is taken. By interchanging this one, we will get the equation 11. So we will go to the next equation 11. Next, similarly we can write equation 12 also by taking equation 10. So by taking equation 9 we got equation 11. By taking equation 10 we will get equation 12. The basis for this one is 9, for this one is 10. Now, so what we got, two equations. Let the two equations is taken as 11 and 12. Now since the wave is propagating along z direction, E may have E and x components but not z component. As I told, for a uniform plane wave, if the wave is propagating along z direction, z component will be equal to 0. So dou square Ex by dou z square equal to mu naught epsilon dou square. So simply for the previous 11th equation we kept a suffix, that is x. So what is that? Dou square Ex by dou z square equal to mu naught dou square Ex by dou t square. The same equation what we took here, 11th equation I think. 11th, for the 11th equation we added a suffix, that is x, because the wave is propagating along. This is from 11th equation. So from 11th equation we got this equation. In this, let Ex equal to Em j omega t. So dou square Ex by dou t square equal to, we have to find out this one, because Ex equal to Em j omega t. So by doing 2 times differentiation with respect to time, we will get j omega minus j square equal to minus sign minus omega square Em j omega t. But what is Em j omega t? Em j omega t is nothing but Ex. So in the place of Em j omega t, again substituted as Ex. So finally what we got? Dou square Ex by dou z square equal to minus omega square mu naught epsilon naught Ex. Is it clear? So only we took Em j omega t. Finally we have substituted this equation. So finally we got minus omega square mu naught Ex. Now, so dou square Ex by dou z square equal to, take this sign, negative sign, this will be equal to 0. So we got equation 13. Is it clear how we got the equation 13? Go through the notes and it will be clear. It will be simple differentiation only. Take care of the symbols, each things. Now from this equation, let beta equal to omega into root of mu epsilon. What is beta? As I told, beta is called the phase constant. So here we took our equation which is already we know, beta equal to omega into root of mu epsilon. Omega is angular frequency and root of mu permeability and epsilon is permittivity. So the solution for the above equation, simply we will take the solution where for the above equation, that is 13, Ex equal to k1 e power minus j beta z plus k2 e power minus j beta z. So by taking this, by substituting this one, what we will get in this equation? It is beta equal to omega, that is beta square e x. Now the solution for the above equation, Ex equal to k1 e power minus j beta z plus k2 e power j beta z. Let k1 and k2 are the forward and reverse traveling waves, where k1 is the forward wave and k2 is the reverse wave. Remember, it is represented with an exponential. Negative sign is the forward wave and the positive sign is the reverse wave. Now, what Ex equal to Em magnitude e power j omega t e power minus j theta z and Em minus e power j omega t e power j beta z. So k1 is taken as some value. So this is represented as Em e power j omega t minus beta z and Em minus j omega t beta z. Now, so what is e power j theta? E power j theta we can represent as cos theta plus j sin theta. E power j omega minus is represented as cos omega, that is j cos theta plus j sin theta. So all of you know how to represent e power j theta in terms of cos and sin. Now, by equating only the real parts, only we have equated the real parts. By equating the real parts, we will get this equation. So what is that? Ex equal to Em cos omega t minus beta z minus cos omega t plus beta z. Similarly, we can write for h also. Remember, this hm plus Em plus is nothing but is taken in the place of k, where k1 equal to Em plus e power j omega t and Em minus j omega t. Plus is taken for the forward wave and minus is taken for the backward wave. So finally we got two equations. One is Em, that is Ex, and the other one is Hy. So these two equations are taken as 14 and 15. These two equations are taken as 14 and 15. Now leave these equations up to here. So that is 14 and 15. These two are the equations. Later we will use in order to find out the relation between E and H. So next we will go to the E and H. Phase velocity we will see later. So what is meant by phase velocity we will see later. If it is anywhere necessary, I will explain that one. Usually the definition of the phase velocity is given in this is not somewhat correct. Phase velocity is the velocity with which the wave is going to change its phase with respect to guide wavelength, because phase beta equal to 2 pi by lambda. So regarding this phase velocity we will discuss later. Now we will go to the second case. So what is the next one? Relationship between E and H in free space. So what is this relationship between E and H? Relationship between electric field and a magnetic field. We know this electric field and magnetic field both are mutually perpendicular to each other. So if Ex exists, Hy exists. Ex exists, Hx will be equal to 0. If Hy exists, Ey will be equal to 0. These all things we know because both are mutually perpendicular. If we are expressing in a Cartesian coordinate system, say for example, if Ex equal to 0, then Hx is not equal to 0. If Ey is present, then Hy is equal to 0. Already you know that one. Now, so we'll get the relation between E and H. Now take the Maxwell's equation. So what is the Maxwell's equation? We are having del cross E equal to minus dou B by dou T. In the place of B, we can substitute mu into H. Now, assume the wave is propagating along z direction. So there will be no z component. Ez component or Hz component will be equal to 0, and let the electric field and magnetic field will be in x direction and then y direction. Now, so there Ex component will be there and Hy component will be there. We are assuming in such a way. So now how to expand del cross E? Already we know how to expand del cross E. So del cross E equal to Ax cap, Ay cap, Az cap, dou by dou x, dou by dou y, and dou by dou z. So where Ex 0 0 equal to minus mu Hy by Ht. Because Hy component is present, only Ex component is present. So by taking this del operation, we will get dou Ex by dou y equal to minus mu Hy by Ht. So by equating both the terms, dou Ez by dou y equal to minus mu. So take this equation as 2. So first equation is this one from the Maxwell's equation, and this is the second equation. Equating Ay components on both sides, so we will get this equation. Now we know that from equation some 14 and 15 we took the equation that Ex equal to Em cos omega t minus beta z plus Em minus cos omega t plus beta z. So what we want to find out now? Dou Ex by dou z. So we are finding dou Ex by dou z by differentiating this one. Look at the signs and the that is by differentiating. Now we will got. So what is Hy? So from this equation we want Hy. Hy equal to minus 1 by mu integral of dou Ex by dou t. So what will Hy will get? Look at here. Hy is equal to, from this equation, to minus 1 by mu integral of dou Ex by dou z. So this is the equation what we took here. So now finally we got Hy. So look at the integrals and differentiation clearly. So finally we got Hy equal to minus 1 by mu, and finally Hy equal to, we got equation 4. Hy equal to Hm cos omega t plus actually 3 we got from this equation, and already we know from equation 2. So 3 is the equation what we got by solving this Maxwell's equation. But what is equation 4? Equation 4 means what we are having previously. This equation 4. Look at here. Equation 4 is nothing but equation 15. Equation 4 is nothing but equation 15. That is, fourth equation is equation 4 is equal to equation 15. So by solving this equation we got equation 3. So already we know Hy equal to this equation. By equating these two, compare equation 3 and equation 4. Both are Hy equal. So by comparing these two equations, what is Hm component we got? Em plus beta by omega mu, and Hm minus is minus Em minus beta by omega q. Now, so usually the ratio of E and H is represented as eta. So eta equal to, this is eta equal to Em by Eh equal to omega mu by beta. So already beta is nothing but omega root of mu epsilon. So eta equal to root of mu by epsilon. If we are taking a negative, if we are taking a negative, then also we will get the same, where eta equal to minus root of mu by epsilon. So finally eta equal to E by H, which is equal to root of mu by epsilon. So if it is a medium, we can take root of mu naught mu r by epsilon naught epsilon r. If it is free space, it is nothing but root of mu naught by epsilon naught. So substitute mu naught value and epsilon naught and find out the value. This will be equal to 120 pi r 377 ohms, which is equal to free space impedance. So in free space, always E by H ratio is equal to 120 pi r 377 ohms, which is nothing but intrinsic impedance or impedance of free space. Remember, this is very, very important relation between E and H. Now in free space, so in free space, look at this one. So what I have told, so eta equal to root of mu naught and epsilon, mu r and epsilon are equal to 1, finally which is equal to 377 ohms. So in general, eta equal to 120 pi root of mu r by epsilon r if it is in a medium. So usually in a medium, so always the relation between E and H is equal to the eta value in free space. Now here we are having another one. Prove that E and H in an electromagnetic wave are perpendicular to each other or not. So this is simple only, we can go through that one. So next, propagation constant. What is meant by a propagation constant? We will see the propagation constant in the next class. So before going to that one, we have to watch the syllabus. So prove that E and H in a EM wave is perpendicular to each other. So what is taken? E and H are taken. The wave is propagating along z direction. Both the components will be equal to 0. So only we are taking E as having x component and H is having y component. E dot H we have calculated. So by taking E dot H, and we can prove Ex by Hy equal to mu epsilon by substituting 1 and 2 in these equations. Finally we got E dot H will be equal to 0. So E dot H equal to 0 means both are mutually perpendicular to each other. So I am concluding here, and today evening I will upload another offline class. So the continuation to this one. Next we will see what is meant by propagation constant, how the wave will propagate in the medium. Okay.